viewers, and welcome to Zambia Today. I am your host, Emmanuel Mwemba. Now, our health is your greatest asset, and the choices we make every day, from what we eat and how active we are, to how we manage stress and get enough rest, have a significant impact on our overall well-being. And so, today on the program, we focus on health living. And my guest today is Dr. Jelo Gigi, commonly known as Dr. Gigi, the vegetarian, the only fat vegetarian in Africa. Doc, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
The only fat vegetarian in Africa.
The only fat vegetarian in Africa.
As usual.
Yes.
To kickstart the conversation, today we are looking at health living.
Yes.
To the viewers watching, what is health living?
Basically, health living is being healthy in all aspects. Now, when we talk about aspects, we are talking about issues to do with your physical health. We're talking about your mental health, your environmental health, all those things that pertain to your well-being and to your living, because we are affected by what we eat, how we eat, and also by where we live and what we find ourselves in. So family-wise, is your health okay? Is it a healthy family? Do you have healthy conversations? So when you talk about health living, it's really very broad. But just to summarize, I think that would entail what health living is.
Great. You are the vegetarian, actually.
Yes, I'm a vegetarian.
So to the viewers who are watching, what are the benefits of being a vegetarian?
I think being a vegetarian is the greatest choice that a human being can make, because by design, God created us to be vegetarians.
Okay.
It is just at creation. You see, when you're making a car, you know that this car is, petrol propelled or diesel propelled. So when you make a car, you cannot say, no, this is a Corolla, but I'll put a
VX engine.
It's VX engine, you understand?
Yes.
So when he created man, he created him in a way that he should be able to take in food. Because remember, you are built from the soil. Okay? And if you're built from the soil, it means that your body eats what the soil has. So that's why we are mineralized people. Okay? That's why when you eat a lot of food, there's the minerals there, there are vitamins there. So instead of us, going into the bush or into the desert or into the garden to eat soil, God created a plant. And when he created a plant, he transmitted the minerals and the vitamins and everything else that is essential from the soil to the plant. And then that's when he says, you shall eat this. Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
So that you can gain what the soil has. For you to live, you need the soil. And that is why it is important that we respect the soil and take care of your soil, because that's where you come from. And so being a vegetarian for me is going back to nature.
Okay.
It is basically accepting that I was created to be somebody who lives on plant-based foods that will propel my health in terms of just living a good life and a life without ever getting sick.
Great.
Yeah.
As the saying goes, your health is your wealth.
Yes.
How does our diet influence the performance in our daily activities?
I like to give an example of an entrepreneur or a business owner especially a business owner whose business depends on him being at work every day. So you find this guy owns a shop in Kamwala, okay, and then he comes every day to work. If he's not there, there's no money for that particular day. And then because you have neglected your health, because you have had to eat a lot of, probably a lot of meat carelessly, a lot of junky food carelessly, a lot of, chemicals or sugary drinks carelessly, you find that you develop a condition, a lifestyle condition, say for example diabetes. Okay, you develop diabetes or hypertension, and then on and off, today you're feeling okay, tomorrow you're not feeling okay. It means that your business will be affected tremendously. You cannot grow the business at the rate that you want it to grow. As opposed to me, who's a vegetarian, who eats palatable food, foods that come from, that enter my mouth and are digested, and I gain the vigor from them, and I go to the toilet, I go back for work tomorrow.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, I'll show up. But you, if you're a CEO of a company, you're on and off. Today you're there, tomorrow you're not. And as opposed to somebody who's there every day, you see that the growth trajectories of both companies will be very different.
Great.
Yes.
Actually, as you have articulated, the food we eat affects us actually.
Exactly.
But, the majority of Zambians, I can say there are few vegetarians actually in Zambia. The majority are, they like meat actually.
Yes.
What does it take for someone to transition to become a vegetarian?
Well, first of all, it has to be intrinsic, because your body is built out of, you have that intrinsic nature in you, that you are a vegetarian. But we are rebellious to that nature. Why? Because we were born at a time when the antediluvians introduced meat to the system. Now that system has been there from 2000, since the world was 2,000 years old. You understand?
Yes.
And then we are in this is over 6,000 years we are living, and people have been eating meat. Now to come and bring an idea that stop eating meat or become vegetarians, it's a very funny statement, I must say. But then this is something that would probably give you a beginning point to start thinking, if my body operates better or optimally when it is fueled by petrol, because it's a petrol engine, then I'm better off start thinking of putting petrol in the car as opposed to me putting diesel. Because what we do, for 6,000 years this has happened, is that people have been putting diesel in a petrol engine. So when you put meats, chicken, fish, sugary drinks, all these things, when you put them in the system, what you're doing there, you're putting diesel in a petrol engine. So the system becomes slow. Even propelling, even giving you the energy, even giving you the mind that you need. And you wonder why we have mental cases now. It's because of the diesel that is running in our systems, as opposed to understanding the petrol that we need to have. So when you put in vegetarianism in your lifestyle, it sort of brings sanity to how you can propel and be healthy for the rest of your life and never get sick, number one. Number two, you should know the benefits of being a vegetarian. Now, benefits of being a vegetarian, number one is that forget about disease. You should forget about disease, getting sick. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you a question right now. How does it feel to have a flu?
So discomforting, actually.
Yes, how does it feel to have a headache? You understand? I don't even remember how a headache goes, because I've been at it for 25 years. I've been a vegetarian for 25 years. And I enjoy my life to a level where it is difficult to get sick. Number one. You understand?
Yes.
Number two, you have a clear mind. My assistant was telling me that you can beat him to work, you can be physically fit, you can be whatever, but you can't beat him mentally, because you cannot overthink, outsmart him. Why? Because he has paid attention in feeding the brain. So when you feed the brain needs oxygen, and it helps you become more rigorous when it comes to the thought process. What we need now is people who can think beyond what the system has provided. And so this is what you have a clear head, and we don't expect you to be irrational. You be somebody who is very positioned in terms of making decisions, and decisions that are correct.
Great. And I think the information you have brought on the table prompt me to ask What role does balanced diet play in preventing common diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and heart diseases?
So that's very interesting question, because that question borders on those diseases you've mentioned are all created by what we eat. You understand?
Yeah.
And then the solution is also found in what we eat. You understand? So when I look at those diseases, you find that they are all prone to fat. They are all prone to indigestion. They are all prone to gut health. They are all prone to inflammation, and toxicity issues. So you find that when you look at all these heart conditions, it has to do with fat, too much fat in the body, high cholesterol issues. The blood is having a lot of toxicity, and we need to deal with it so that it doesn't affect the heart, number one. You talk about hypertension, it is still fat, which turns into mucus, and then it becomes plaque, and then it narrows the arteries, blood becomes hypertensive. Okay, then you talk about diabetes, it is still fat, which turns into mucus, and it blocks the meta cells of the pancreas, and it can't produce insulin, or even if it produces insulin, it stops the cells from opening up. All those things. It's all about, where do we find this fat? It comes from the meats that we eat. It comes from the foods that we eat. And so it is very difficult to avoid the aspect of food and disease when these things are intertwined. So if you have to prevent that, then you have to cut the source. I believe in, if I'm treating disease, I'll tell you that I treat a lot of diseases using food, where we treat disease using food. Specifically, you come for 21 days or for 3 days, I put you on a diet, your body opens up, and the disease goes away. Why? Because you are eating the right thing that the body wants. Why is it that you, when you go to the hospital, you take fruits for the patient?
Yes, why?
Yeah, why is it that every time you are admitted, you crave oranges, you crave bananas and apples, but when you are healthy like this, what do you take? You don't take. You want to eat inshima, you want to eat T-bone, you want to eat junky food, pizzas and whatnot. So it's an intrinsic factor that we need to pay attention to. It's calling in your natural body, and I think for me, we need to pay attention to it more, so that as we eat more vegetables, as we eat more fruits, as we drink more water, not water that is tap water, because tap water is a bit heavy. We need to clean our water. We need to make sure that we're drinking clean water that is going to help the system become normal and function on a normal level.
Great.
Yeah.
So for the viewers who are watching, what food can you recommend them to be eating on the daily basis?
Very good. You know that Zambia, I've sort of traveled around Africa and around the world, and I've seen, because when I travel, I look at what people eat, and that is my interest, because I'm a nutritionist by profession, and so I know what is food, okay, and I know when I eat something what I'm going to gain from it. So I've paid particular attention on where and how they grow their food, and also what's the benefit of their growth. So, and I've seen that a lot of countries have different approaches. You go to South Africa, you find that a lot of their foods, because I don't know if it's a population issue, a lot of their foods is laboratory grown. And then you come to Nigeria, because of population issues as well, they grow a lot of indigenous, they love a lot of indigenous food, but they are prone to starches as well, a lot of starches, which is the same case as Zambia. Zambia has got a lot of starches, and we eat a lot of starches. You find that in Zambia we eat maize, which is shima. Nothing wrong with shima, right? But it is an acid, it is an acidic food, okay? Meaning that you only need so much of the shima, which is 20% of what you're supposed to eat on each table. So 20% is like 2 lambs or 1 lamb. Now to give you 1 lamb, is it possible?
You complain.
No, it's not possible. So you find that the starch, and then we have, I've seen cassava. You know, cassava is complicated. I think on another day we should just come and talk about cassava. It's complicated because it's a very serious starch, and it's something that is very, very. It's been there, but you don't need a lot of it. You just need a bit of it. So, but then people cook shima using it, and then you have millet and sorghum, right? People eat these things.
Yes.
But the best of these four is millet, because millet is the only alkaline grain that you will find in the world and also in our country, and we have a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people eat millet and become healthy, especially diabetics. They love millet shima, which is very good. So if you want, you can mix the four and cook your shima. That's the best. That's the best. I call it the 4-meal shima. And then on the vegetable side, now, our country is endowed with so much vegetables, different types. If you are in Lusaka, you will eat, chipampila, you will eat infusha, you will eat kalembla, you will eat Chinese. You asked about balancing food.
Yes.
When you eat shima, white shima, okay, white shima with white mealie meal, say, just from any brand, yeah, white mealie meal, and you know what they do? They process that thing, and then it's just white. Okay, they remove everything that is essential for fiber, and then you are given meat, meat or chicken, doesn't matter, whatever meat it is, and then you are given rib, okay, as a vegetable. So you are going to eat and fill the tummy, right? But when you fill the tummy, do you know that nutritionally you haven't eaten anything?
Okay.
Because one, the shima is processed, you're not going to gain anything. You gain volume, but no nutrition. You are only going to get the protein from the meat 72 hours later, which is 3 days later. So you are not really getting anything today, so you are going to starve the body for 3 days. But you would have filled the tummy. Yeah. And you'll be coming back from Mateveto saying, Ninja Kutasana.
I have eaten.
I understand.
Great.
So those are some of the things that you look at when you're balancing food. You should look at what is palatable for the body. So when you're eating shima, what kind of shima are you going to eat? That is going to be accepted by the body. When you're eating the meat, what is going to be, given to you as protein that you need for the body, and also the vegetables. So for me, increase vegetables. Eat beans, put beans there, put kalembla there, put Chinese there, put chihuahua there, so that you have a variety. And
okay,
then
not one specific vegetable.
Specific vegetable.
Yes. Now, when talking about health living, we can't do away with having enough rest, actually. A lot of people, they tend to put it in the way of hard working, finding themselves having sleepless nights. What implications does that have on the mental well-being?
Rest is the most, for me, it's the most important. Because if you are a high performer, if you are an entrepreneur or you're a business person, you need your rest. Why? Because it sort of calibrates your brain faculty, because your faculties have to sometimes shut down and reboot, and that is found in rest. Because if you are burning yourself throughout, you don't want to rest, you are grinding, you're even telling yourself, we grind as they sleep, you know, you don't want to, you're even sleeping 4 hours. That for me, that is not very then your brain doesn't function properly. That's why you sleep 4 hours. But you need enough sleep. You need enough, because when you are thinking correctly and you are at your high performance, you will achieve more in 1 hour than somebody who hasn't slept. Because your brain becomes foggy. So you cannot, a simple decision you cannot make. A simple thought process you cannot make. So it helps really bring you back to normal and reboots your system and gives you the health that you
Let's bring it at now household level. How can families promote health habits amongst children, especially when they cook maybe vegetables? They say, "No, we can't
don't
eat
want,
this.
yes.
We want meat. We want this." How can they promote health habits?
For me, it's also the mothers should pay attention to making it their role to teach children how to cook food, number one. How do you get interested in something? It's by participating. You find it makes a lot of sense for you when you participate. So what I've done, like in my household, in my children, all of them, we cook together. Like, hey, give me tomatoes, give me onions, cut for me, do the shima there, you know, so that they participate and feel that they need this thing because it's good for their bodies. So how to now as they are cooking, you can also educate them. But the problem is that the educator who's supposed to be educated doesn't know anything. Because they grew up in a system where sure. You know, understand? Eh? So it's something that you need to probably follow through and encourage children to eat a lot of vegetables. But how do you encourage them?
Yeah.
By either helping them to, participating in growing the vegetables, and also cutting the vegetables, and also cooking the vegetables. So you find that these guys, if he has cooked this thing, he will feel proud to eat it because he was part of the process. And also just trying to, you know, we have, there's millennials, there's Gen Zs, these days there's what? There's AIs.
Yes.
These AI children. You know, the AI children are a problem. So you need to explain to them, this is a vegetable. What you find in the vegetable is this and this. And this is good for your blood. This is good for your oxygen. This is good for what and what, okay? For healing wounds and what. So they need to eat it from a perspective where they should know that it helps their body to maintain a good health, so that they're able to eat it with all their hearts and everything else.
Right. Many other times we tend to shy away from knowing our health status. For the viewers who are watching, what advice can you give them concerning knowing their health status?
Yeah, so it's important that you do a lot of checkups on a yearly basis, okay? But when you come to the sanitarium where I work from, we encourage on a quarterly basis. There's what we call decongestion on a quarterly basis, or a detox on a quarterly basis. Why? Because you are eating cooked food, and we are eating junky food, and we are drinking a lot of alcohol, a lot of bad habits in our eating. So the body is always accumulating chemicals, it's always accumulating toxins. So they don't come out easily. So the only thing that helps you is detox. Okay, when you detox, you've got a lot of juices. We've got balm juice, we've got gunduzani, we've got all these juices, teas like wonder tea, all these things that we use to clean the body so that they're able to flush out the system. Not necessarily having diarrhea the whole day, no. But you need to clean the body in a systematic way so that it's able to appreciate and give you back your health. So it's important that these habits should be developed over time, and check your body. Because now also you should remember that you need to learn to listen to your body. Do you know that your body speaks? Sometimes it will give you a very sharp pain here under the heart. What is that? Sometimes you just feel your leg. What is that? Sometimes it's pounding in the head. You've got a headache. What is that? You understand? Sometimes you're run out of breath. What is that? So you need to now culture yourself in understanding and listening to your body. Because your body is a very sensitive body. I'll tell you what. Me, I'm very sensitive to sort of maize. I'll tell you maize. When I eat maize, all of a sudden I'm going to have my sinuses start itching. Why? Because I know my body. But you see, that's maize. I cannot stop eating.
Yeah.
So I just brave it, yeah?
Yes.
And if you tell me, when I eat, you tell me kandolo. If I eat kandolo, which is cooked, I'll have chidunguri. But when I eat raw, my body will feel great. So you need to know what triggers your body And also you need to listen. So when you listen to your body, you will know what is good for you and what is not good for you.
Yeah.
And also when it speaks, please listen to your body. Because when it speaks, it is warning you to say, my friend, pay attention to certain things so that you don't find yourself in the hospital.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Even as we come to the end of this interview, what final message do you have for the viewers who are watching, and how can they access services from you for further consultation?
So basically, we are interested in knowing how our country they are doing. And also we are interested in educating our people on how to become vegetarians. What if the whole country became vegetarian? What if the president was a vegetarian? What if the parliament was vegetarian? What if media people were vegetarians? We would find ourselves growing more food in the sector of vegetarianism, and also being a healthy nation. Why? Because I am Dr. Gigi, the vegetarian, who is poised to promote vegetarianism to a level where it's not only for the benefit of having a name that I'm a vegetarian, but it is the benefit of being healthy, having a clear mind, being able to think beyond what the average person can think, and being able to grind or work hard and be able never to get tired. You understand?
Yeah.
And these are things that we want to promote. We want to promote a good health living a lifestyle that is going to give you not only energy, but give you a happy life. Do you know what we lack in our country is happiness? People are sad. People are depressed. People are mentally ill. Why? Because there's toxicity in their systems. And so if they came to us and if they decide to do that, we are the sanitarium. They will get in touch with us. They can get us on 0977 83 11 81. That's the number we use. 0977 83 11 81. Once you call that number, we are able to educate you. We are able to treat your disease using garlic. We are able to treat your disease using ginger. We are able to treat your disease using calendula. Do you know that when you mix calendula and moringa, you have created blood? And it's able to cure cancer. You know, it's able to cure all these things. So you can actually use our knowledge to live a better life and be able to proceed and grow our nation. So my concluding remarks would be, I want to see a Zambia which is healthy. I want to see people like George from MBS to try and promote people who are promoting health living so that we could grow together and become people who are never grounded by any sickness.
Great.
Yeah.
Doc, thank you so much for making an appearance
Thank
on
you so much.
Zambia Today.
Great.
Great. Dear viewers, there you have it. This is where we've come to the end of Zambia Today. Today on the program, we were discussing health living, and our guest has been Dr. Jelo Jinji, commonly known as Dr. Jinji, the vegetarian, the only fat vegetarian in Africa. From me, Emmanuel Mwemba, and the entire Zanis production team, this is where we say goodbye and continue enjoying the rest of our programming.